Where are the women? We're seeing men getting their heads shaved, being put on planes by the chain gangs, and sent to El Salvador. But where are the women? What are we doing with them?
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Look, right now out in the States, you guys got two situations going on. They're really quite annoying to me, taken out of hand. And it's Carmelo Anthony is one of them, and Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Like, that's all you're hearing about right now. And quite honestly, a little bit ridiculous. If you notice, nobody's speaking about Elon Musk anymore. You're not hearing about how Trump is a fascist anymore. You know, we're supposed to be talking about Elon, how he's a Yahtzee and salutes, and how he's like ripping off everybody. You're not even hearing about that at all now, because it's been divvied up into two other stories. Now, the funny thing is about this, if you really look at it, from what I'm seeing online, it's like been divvied up. So you have the black community that doesn't seem to really care at all what's going on with Abrego Garcia. And then you have the white community that's barely saying a thing when it comes to Carmelo Anthony. So it's almost like, you know, as if they divvied up into two teams and they're like, all right, you got this? Yeah. We got this? Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, go liberals. It's ridiculous. It looks stupid at this point. Now, I told you guys last video that we are going to be doing like a pretty deep dive into the whole Kilmar Abrego Garcia situation. I don't think we really need to dive deep. I don't really think I need to pull up court papers and all that type of stuff. It's all over the place now. There's so much evidence out there now to show that the Trump team was not in the wrong with this situation. Yet the liberals, they're in a corner. You know, it's like literally catching a kid stealing, hand right in the cookie jar and saying, no, you didn't see that. Not true. Nuh-uh. You tried to steal it. This is exactly what's going on right now. And I got to be honest with you guys. I'm a little frustrated, so this might be a little bit of a ranting video. And to top it off, I'm not going to be able to film a video tomorrow, so I plan on filming back-to-back tonight. So it might be back-to-back ranting videos. So I hope you guys are in this ride with me. Let's get into it.
I mean, we already knew that Trump had no soul, but he has wrongly sent a man to one of the most horrible prisons in the world, and his response, even though he admits that he got it wrong, is no, fuck you, we're not going to try to bring him back.
I'm going to try and say this as clearly as I can. If you as a president can completely disappear somebody who has done nothing wrong, who has broken no laws, and then when the Supreme Court votes unanimously, this Supreme Court votes unanimously to force you to bring him back, and you refuse and are able to get away with it, that is fascism.
Absolutely amazing how many of you will watch us burn to the ground before you admit you were duped by a cult leader. Sad.
Stop. Stop calling CCOT a prison. We need to be calling a spade right now. They're putting 70, sometimes upwards of 70 people to a cell. They're feeding these men nothing but rice and beans. They will never see meat. They will never see vegetables ever again. They're never allowed to see sunlight. They're not allowed outside. They're not allowed to see their families. When they boast about the fact that no prisoner there is ever let out alive ever again, and they have a seemingly unlimited capacity for taking on new prisoners, let's be serious. That is not a prison. That is a concentration camp. Call it what it is.
So when they do start disappearing us homegrowns, what's the plan? Because it looks like that's what's going to be happening real soon. So I just wanted to check what the plan was. Is it just keep going to work? Yeah, okay, just checking.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia was in this country legally. He came the right way. That's what MAGA's been asking for, right? Just come the right way and everything will be okay. Well, I want to see the outrage from the MAGA side of TikTok. I want to see them coming forward for Abrego Garcia and expressing the outrage at this, because this man did it the right way. And they want to lump him in with everybody else and just claim that he's, you know, just here illegally and a criminal and everything like that. And all those things are completely false. He came here the right way, and yet he is sitting in a prison in El Salvador. And Donald Trump has said there's nothing he can do to get him back. The president of El Salvador says there's nothing he can do to release him. These two met today, and they act as if there's nothing they can do for this man. So where is the outrage for Abrego Garcia? Because he came the right way. He filled out his paperwork. He applied the right things. He did the right things. He was working, married a U.S. citizen, has a child here, living a peaceful life, and he got deported. So where are you, MAGA, on this one? I want to hear you, because if it's truly about coming to this country illegally, that's one thing. If it's your racism coming through, well, that's what we knew, but that's a whole nother.
Okay, the lies begin. Kilmar Abrego Garcia was not in the United States legally. He came there in 2012. That's what the court documents say. These guys all want to keep saying 2011. He was this little innocent 16-year-old kid. He showed up in 2012. He only got picked up in 2019. He lived out there for 7 years illegally. Now, of course, as I pointed out, the other video with this guy, he's a complete TikTok propagandist. He knows that he's lying through his teeth. He's obviously seen these court papers. He was not here legally. Again, in 2019, this is where the whole thing came up about, oh, you're MS-13. I cannot put a bond on you. You cannot be let go. And then 6 months later, he was, I believe, in detention for 6 months. 6 months later, he got himself a new lawyer, and he fought this whole thing again for the bond. The judge, the immigration judge at that time stated, there's not enough evidence for me to actually state that you are MSN-13. There's definitely MS-13. There also definitely was not enough evidence to show that he was not. So it was questionable. Yet, they still could not give him bond. And the reason being is they still looked at it like he was a flight risk, because he's had previous court dates before that he didn't show up for traffic violations. He did not fill out any paperwork, as this gentleman here states. Again, it's 6 months later when he tried to appeal. He tried to claim asylum 7 years after he was already in the States. Now, asylum, you have to claim it within your first year of being there, which is absolutely ridiculous if you think about it. You can come across the border illegally, chill there for 12 months, and then say, hey, asylum, that's already a huge weakness when it comes to the immigration in the United States. This guy tried to pull it off after 7 years. It was time barred. There was no asylum. This, I shouldn't have to explain it to anybody, at least none of my viewers, because they already know what this is, was his due process. Now, he had, what was it called? A withdrawal of removal. Now, it's funny because you're going to see a lot of the people on the left bring this up, that he was able to stay here legally because of the withdrawal. I think it's called a withdrawal of removal. Because of the withdrawal of removal. The withdrawal of removal was just for El Salvador. There was a deportation order any third country would do. So bottom line, no matter what Mr. TikTok propagandist is stating here, he's not a legal American citizen. He has no legal rights. He got his due process that everybody is asking for. He got it in 2019. It's really funny how everybody wants to bring up this whole thing with the withdrawal of removal. I got to look up the proper wording for that. They want to keep mentioning that, meaning, yeah, he's been in front of a judge in 2019, but yet they still want to keep claiming he never had his due process. He was pretty much all kidnapped. We have an American citizen, a Maryland father, who's just locked away in a prison, not even a prison. They want to call it not even a concentration camp at this point, guys. They want to call it a death camp now at this point. This is what they think is going on.
The Supreme Court told him to bring him back. Everybody told him to bring it back. He doesn't care. It makes him look heartless. It makes him look like he puts his own needs ahead of everyone else's. He doesn't care. This is one of the most stunning acts of heartlessness that we have seen from Trump in the entirety of him having power.
I got one thing to say to the President of the United States. Get 2 Big Macs, 6 Diet Cokes. Get your fat ass on that Air Force One. Get your fat ass over there and bring that man home to his family now.
It is fucking batshit insane to me that this is up for debate, but let me be super clear. All persons within the United States are entitled to due process. Kilmar Abrego Garcia was denied his due process when he was illegally deported to El Salvador for life imprisonment based on information gathered by the police on a gang interview field sheet from his arrest in 2019. Wearing a hat and a sweater and possibly being affiliated with the gang should not mean life imprisonment. Get your head out of your asses. You could be next. Bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia home now.
To all you out there thinking that sending people to CCOT in El Salvador is not a big deal, Auschwitz is in Poland. It's not in Germany. Wake the fuck up, man.
If you're one of the people here on TikTok in the comments celebrating what's happening in El Salvador and celebrating that this is Trump country and this is what we voted for, build 5 more prisons, congratulations, you're a Yahtzee. Full stop. We are not using any other words. You are a Yahtzee. You are the people that our teachers warned us about. You are the people that we learned about in elementary school. And your uncle who's on Facebook making the same comments and saying the same things, he's a Yahtzee too. Hate to break it to you, he's a Yahtzee too. And I want you to remember that when Easter dinner comes up this weekend and you choose to break bread with a Yahtzee. We've all read the books. We've all thought, how could they have let that happen? How could they have sat down to dinner with those people? Keep that in mind. Your uncle's a Yahtzee. Your grandfather might be one too.
Stop. You might as well stop. There's no sense going anywhere. If we don't get Kilmar back to the United States, then we're all shit in the wind. Nothing matters if we don't get him back. And whatever they've done to him, we need to know. And they all need to pay. The president needs to go to jail for this. If this is what we think it is, he needs to answer for this. This isn't no cherry tree Washington chopped down. This is a man's life, an American, who's been treated like garbage by his president and thrown into another country's prison, basically, and we don't even know if he's alive or dead. Kilmar Garcia needs to come home. This is all I care about now. This is all I think about now. This is all I need to know. If I don't know this, I don't need to know anything. This country is shot to hell. If we can't bring Kilmar back, we're not the United States of America. And I'm not running this place. I'm 70 years old. But I guarantee you, if I was young enough, I'd be figuring out where the fuck he was. And I'd make sure he got back home.
Now, honestly speaking, being very honest here, and you guys know I'm pretty much all just very blunt, direct, and down the middle. I don't really try and offend anybody, but anybody that's got the frame of thought that this man just had, losing sleep, nothing else matters at this point. This is all I can think about. He's an American. We need to bring him home. If you are a liberal out there, even if you're not a liberal, if you just have this frame of thought and you actually haven't done any research on this situation, because there's court papers out there proving that this guy was illegal. If you have this frame of thought, you're pathetic. You're a pathetic, sad individual, proving to the rest of the world just how easily your mind can be programmed with propaganda. All these liberals are all using the same hit words. They're all using the Maryland father, how we're in a constitutional crisis. It's all the same hit words that's going on right now. And it just shows you how easy their brain is to program. This guy's losing sleep. He's 70 years old. And who's 90% confirmed as a gang member, because more information has come out even as of today, pretty much all ascertaining that he has affiliations with MS-13. You're defending a gang member. We don't know how violent his past was. We do know that he's had some criminal offenses. Maybe they are not drastically violent offenses, but we do know that he's had definitely driving violations. Not too big. Who hasn't had driving violations, right? He has had, I think, issues when it comes to getting physical, domestic abuse with his wife. And there was something else that popped up. I'm not going to open up my mouth about it just yet until actually more information comes out, but there was another investigation of the highest crime that he may have been involved in. This is not an innocent family man from Maryland. And any liberal out there that's losing sleep because of an individual like this, there's something wrong with you. It's to the point where literally you're so against Donald Trump and MAGA that you'll side with anything at all, to try and knock him down. Once again, you liberals with your empathy for people that don't even belong to your country, you have more empathy in you for somebody who doesn't belong there compared to people that actually live in your country. There has been violent crimes caused by these illegal immigrants. And if this was Biden, and Biden said, hey, I'm deporting, you guys would be, oh, bravo, good job, Joe, good job. You should be on Mount Rushmore. Pathetic.
I mean, there were the kids in cages who were separated from their parents forever. Well, that was pretty bad. And there's all the people who lost their lives to COVID because of his bullshit. That was pretty bad. But this is a rectifiable mistake that he made, and he would rather play politics than bring this man back from the worst prison imaginable. I mean, this is a level of heartlessness and soullessness that is a new bottom, even for Trumpy.
Non-citizens don't deserve due process. They're not citizens. The government can do whatever they want to them, yeah? How are you going to prove that you're a citizen when you get rounded up? Due process? The thing that doesn't exist anymore? I saw this tweet that just phrases it perfectly. Without due process, you are whatever the closest ICE agent says you are. And if you think you're safe because they're only targeting non-white people now, or because you're voting for Trump, you are so horrendously mistaken. A country that takes away due process from anyone will take it away from everyone.
Pause what the fuck you're doing. Trump's counter-terrorism czar, whatever the fuck that is, just said that if you advocate for due process, you will be considered as aiding and abetting terrorists and will be federally charged.
I fear we are past the point of no return. A prison that's over capacity that you keep sending people to where no one ever seems to get out. The Department of Justice saying that they are not bringing Kilmar Abrego Garcia back because he's not alive anymore. This is Auschwitz level of bad. This might be the get out moment that some of you need.
After watching that Oval Office meeting between El Salvador's president and Donald Trump, I think it's a very fair question and a serious question to be asking if Kilmar Abrego Garcia is even alive right now. Both of these men said that they don't have the power to bring him back to America. That's a lie. We know it. They know it. I mean, we know he was going to be targeted going back to El Salvador. And if something did tragically happen to him, his blood is going to be on your hands, Donald.
And so after hearing all this news this morning, I'm done. And I'm just going to make this very, very easy for Trump and his team. My name's Alexandra Paredes. I'm the daughter of a Latvian World War II refugee. My dad is a naturalized citizen. Sir, I disagree with every single thing, every ideology, every memo, every bill you're trying to pass. It is so overtly un-American and evil and un-Christian, and you have the audacity to stand up on the world stage and call yourself that after you've most likely deported the second, maybe third coming of Christ back over the Mexican border multiple times now. He could be dying in an El Salvadorian prison, and you wouldn't even know. You don't even know who you are. You're a monster, sir. You could have been the president of the people. You could have done good things. Instead, you choose hatred and violence. Well, I'm here in Michigan, and I hate you. Come get me. I'm ready.
Okay, so now Abrego Garcia is possibly the second or third, I don't know where she's getting third from, coming of Christ. What the hell? Really, what the hell? How ridiculous has this turned in somebody's brain where you think an illegal gang member is possibly the son of God? Wow, incredible. It just shows you again how easily their mind is programmed with propaganda. I didn't expect that, right? When she's going on and even being respectful, calling Trump sir, I disagree with this, I disagree with that, I disagree with every bill, this, you're It's evil and it's un-American. Okay, all right. I was thinking, okay, her brain has been all messed up from mainstream media, but then when she brings out the second or third coming of Christ, and I believe that she's one of those liberals that's actually not anti-Christian, by the way she's speaking. I get the impression that she grew up in a Christian family or that she believes in Christianity, and she should actually feel ashamed of herself to compare this human being to Jesus Christ. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, in the next video, we're going to be looking a little bit deeper into this, more what's going on currently now with this situation. This is stuff from a couple of days ago, leading up to the events that have taken place in the past day or two. And honestly speaking, I don't see this situation getting much better. And I see it happening now with any individual that's deported, anybody that gets sent over to El Salvador. I think they're going to put up a big stink about this. No, this guy's an American citizen. Trump is deporting American citizens, which is untrue. Trump is, I'm thinking, kind of like teasing the idea. I don't really think Trump plans on sending American citizens to El Salvador unless they were a hardened criminal. I mean, then honestly speaking, if you're speaking about somebody who has removed lives from somebody, why should you guys give a shit what jail they're in? If you remove somebody's life, you don't deserve to be treated well. That's just the bottom line. Oh, all right, guys. That's it for this video. If you guys like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Besides that, if you can like the video, comment, share it around, interact with it in any way, that'll be greatly appreciated. And I shall see you guys very shortly, extremely shortly actually, in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
Listen, this is beyond if you aren't a Trump supporter at this point. If you claim yourself to be an American and appreciate your constitutional rights, you need to start taking this dire situation as seriously as it actually is. Like, let's just reflect. They deported an American citizen. A Supreme Court judge said you have to pull him back, and he has outwardly defied that order. In an Oval Office meeting with the president of El Salvador, they flat out refused to bring this man back. He is a citizen of the United States of America. And at the exact same meeting, they were able to catch him on a hot mic. That means a live microphone that he knew he was wearing, having a conversation off record discussing how they need to open 4 more prisons because they will be sending more homegrown detainees to them. He is now outwardly discussing plans to send American citizens to El Salvadorian slave/concentration camps. There's rumors, granted they're rumors, that he intends on implementing martial law on April 20th, which happens to be Hitler's birthday. Please understand the significance of this coincidence. Every single rumor, 2025, Project 25 was a rumor. Now it's a reality. There were rumors about them detaining American citizens, protesters, journalists. All of that is now a reality. This isn't a rumor. It's not speculation. You don't need a tinfoil hat to believe it. The reality is that America is under an authoritarian threat. This man is just obliterating democracy and our constitutional rights. And if martial law gets implemented, I don't think you guys understand that it is going to be on the military to implement a coup or a hostile takeover to bring that man down. And do we know if they are or they aren't going to do it? Guys, the situation is severe as fuck. We're boiling it down. We got 6 days before we see the direction that America is going in. And if you think that that man who throws temper tantrums when being questioned by the press, which is their constitutional right to do so, would not implement martial law to take all of your constitutional rights away after everything else he's done, you're literally delusionally insane. You have to be insane to still be supporting this man, and you have to be weak-minded and lazy to believe that this is not everybody's fight to be standing up to. I don't care where you fall on the spectrum of American politics. We all have to come together. It's end of discussion now. We're not talking about it anymore. I said it before, I'll say it again. Choose your side. That's where we're at.